On the question, the resolution as implemented by 15 by Legislator Syracuse, second by Legislator Sandinato. Now we're open to questions. Legislator Syracuse.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's another year in front of this legislature, and we've had another attempt at an end run around our Second Amendment rights coming out of New York City. And, I had thought that court ruling out of the 9th District Court last year kind of put an end to this stuff. The Heller ruling, in that the states need to avoid adding any hindrance to the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And it's coming out again, and I'd certainly appreciate the support from this legislative body in asking the state Senate, in particular, Mr. Adams, to rescind his efforts to attack the Second Amendment rights of every citizen in New York State, Niagara County. Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Voutour, how about your comments on this? We would appreciate your view.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I haven't read Senate 2994 in its entirety, but I have read the resolution that's before me. And as you know, I'm charged with the safety and security of our county residents, so I'm not going to discuss the fees portion. I have my opinions on that. But I don't see where this bill is going to decrease the number of illegal firearms. I don't think it's within that bill. I don't see anywhere in there where it's going to lower crimes committed by those that commit crimes with illegal firearms. I just don't see much in this bill at all that's going to keep us any safer. So with that being said, I would say that I'm in support of the bill. I'm sorry, the resolution, not the bill.
Thank you for your comments. I want the county clerk, because you're affected by this as I read through it too.
The responsibility for the record keeping falls on our office, and as you know, the pistol permit office comes under our umbrella as far as the county clerk's office. And just to keep in mind that right now on record we have 27,000 pistol permit holders in Niagara County, and with the staff that we have, we walk a fine line as far as making sure that we're taking care of customer service and getting things done in a timely way. I really think that this is an ill-thought resolution that this individual is proposing as far as the Senate is concerned, because of what that cost is going to be for the local areas. Just off the top of my head, the initial figure for us would be $60,000 to start with, and that has got nothing to do with the additional software and other things that we have that it's going to impose on us. And in some ways, I question what this is going to accomplish with what we already have in place as far as the Sheriff's Department, what we have within the Pistol Permit Office, and we have men and women, conscientious men and women, who go through the lengthy process to apply for a pistol permit, and also with Judge Murphy as far as assigning and taking care of some things. I really question what the motive is, and also what that impact is going to be for us as a local area. I think it's an unnecessary expense.
Thank you for your comments. Legislator Sklarski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, this proposed bill goes way beyond county clerk or anything else, even our sheriff. This goes against the Articles 12 of the Constitution of the State of New York, which is clearly in here, which states the defense and protection of the state, New York, and of the United States is the obligation of all persons in the state, within the state. That's in the state constitution, New York State Constitution. This senator wants to impose a registration fee on what it says here, all legal registration fee on $10 per firearms, and he goes on and on, for all citizens who legally own these guns. Legally, we own these guns legally. I've been a member of a sportsman's club for a number of years. I can tell you without question, men and women of the sportsman field are one of the most dedicated and law-abiding citizens that have the right to bear these arms, which not only states in our Constitution, but as legislator Syracuse pointed out, it's in the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. It also goes on to say, and what bothers me even more about this is if this passes and you don't register or pay the fee like this senator wants, you're going to be charged with a misdemeanor. Now, our Constitution says we should defend our state and our country. The United States Constitution in the Second Amendment clearly states that. But yet, if we don't comply with what this gentleman's bill goes, if it goes through, we're going to be charged for a misdemeanor. That doesn't make sense. It goes beyond everything that this country and this state was founded on. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Sklarski. Legislator Godfrey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Talk about misdemeanors and offenses. I can't think of any one moment in time that in Niagara County alone there isn't some firearm being transferred or sold from person to person. How do you put a stake in the ground and say you're going to register them all? We're not just talking handguns, as our county clerk mentioned. It is all firearms. Shotguns, rifles, whatever. Every firearm. And there's trade shows that go on, and there's clubs that have different functions where guns are given away in raffles and so on. I would think it's near impossible to find a point in time at any point to say they have collected all the information on all of these weapons. And if they in fact could do that, the very next second it's out of date, which puts that burden, as our clerk said, at an enormous cost. I believe this whole bill, outside of the fact is against the Second Amendment, is absolutely foolish and ludicrous because it could never be accomplished, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Legislator Sandanao.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Legislator Syracuse, for bringing this resolution forth. I think the most obnoxious thing about this bill would literally be the fact that New York City is exempt from any type of registration or fee or anything like that. Everybody in New York State, except for New York City, would have to pay these. I have residents in my district that are gun collectors. They're law-abiding citizens. They don't do anything wrong. The pistol permit and Wayne Jagow and everybody down there has been excellent whenever they had a question or whatnot. And you can tell that they're overworked. So to put this in front of us and tell us that we have to register our guns for a flat fee and then annually do it is just ludicrous. We come to expect New York State to tax us to death. We get that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the fact that they are continuing to keep New York City separate from the rest of New York State, that is like a slap into the face to every New York resident. And I cannot believe that Senator Adams can continue being a senator and issuing legislation like this. It's an insult. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Sandanao. Legislator Soluri.
I have a few notes here. I promise not to take too long. Senator Adams' bill is incredibly wrong-headed. It treats law-abiding citizens like criminals. It discriminates against everyone who doesn't live in New York City. And it makes the cost of local government higher for our taxpayers. And it flies in the face of the Second Amendment. We are concerned about all of those things, and that's why we're asking the entire Western New York delegation to the Senate, as well as leaders like Senator Skelos, Senator Libos, and our own Senator Maziarz, to take steps to defeat this dangerous bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Soluri. Legislator Updegrove.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to add one thing because it's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's consistent with what our county clerk and Sheriff Voutour said, and that is, I don't believe that this resolution, that the purpose of this resolution is to protect our citizens. I believe that the easiest way, the most effective way to remove illegal firearms from the streets would be to increase criminal sanctions for those persons that are in possession of illegal firearms. because that's the problem. Criminals will find guns, and I think our efforts, if Senator Adams wanted to bring a resolution that would protect our citizens from criminals who possess illegal firearms, and that should be addressed. But unfortunately, we've seen unfunded mandates come in many forms and with many coats on, and this is nothing more than an unfunded mandate. It's in a very strange form. Senator Adams is very creative when it comes to disguising unfunded mandates, but we've got a lot of experience in this room with dealing with unfunded mandates or being the recipients of them, and we can recognize them pretty readily, and that's what this is.